The last thing you realise when you're in a group like this is that you are actually abusive. In fact, you feel that you're more right than you have ever felt in your life. When I look back on my time in the group I was in some senses it was one of the greatest times of my life. I never felt more right. I never felt more needed, and I never felt like I was doing more good in the world. But the problem with that is it's all unrealistic. So when the bubble bursts and you re-enter society and find out that what you were doing was not in fact helping people, but it was in fact destroying people's lives, it's quite a big thing to come to grips with, which is why some form of exit counselling for anyone who leaves a group, or some kind of information gathering exercise on how cults operate, what has actually happened, is so important. Because there are so many people out there today who have left groups and their lives are shattered. They're not going to go to anyone who can help them because they've been warned about that. They're unaware of what has happened in their life, and they're just bumping through life too scared to tell anyone of where they've been. And that is a tragedy because it affects not only the people who are in the cult, but it affects marriages, it affects children, and it just goes right down the line. Don't give the group, or don't give your child money, because that money will go directly to the group. You can send gifts, you can send flowers, you can send chocolates, you can send Christmas presents, but if you send money, be aware that it will go directly to the group. And then try and gather as much information on your child's particular group as you can, or your relative's particular group as you can, because this can help down the track in helping them leave the group. But once we cut off communication and cut off contact by attacking them, then the game is up. And many times cults will actually move their member or your child, your relative, to a different country or a different town and make it very, very difficult for you to stay in touch at all.
I would never do anything against Scientology. They've got different viewpoints than I've got. They've got a machine to tell you what's going on with the other person. I don't use a machine, I just use me. I'm a spirit, so I don't need a machine. Okay? They use a machine because they've got to get people operating. They're going to clear the planet. They want to clear the planet. I just want to clear a person. So they're using a machine to get through the numbers. The big thing is the source of all this spiritual knowledge all comes from Ron Hubbard.
So how do you...
And Ron Hubbard is glorified as the source. Now, they kicked me out for and they hated me for was I said, I don't agree that Ron Hubbard is the source of this knowledge. I got letters dropped, placards. What was on the letters?
They put letters on the car windscreens that said that everything Ken said came from Ron Hubbard, and that he should acknowledge that source.
And then they signed it, Harry Crawford, which is a senior member of Scientology. So if I ring him up and say, stop hurting Scientology like this, don't put them on there. I don't want to hurt them. They're all right. I don't care whether they are doing it my way or whether I agree with what they're doing or not. They are making people aware that they are a spirit. And they'll eventually outgrow that and want to be independent and do their own research, like I did.